Sean?
Huh? Yes, I'm Sean.
I am Sean. I am your son.
Sean? Oh my god. It's really you.
I've dispatched a courser to Libertalia. I'd like you to join him and reclaim that synth.
We'll bring that synth home.
That would be best for everyone. Now you should get moving. Many people are in danger, and a delay could cost lives.
Protect and serve.
Well, I'm glad to see the relay didn't completely vaporize you.
It did, but I pulled myself together.
I suppose you did. Now, what about the serum? Did you find it?
Got it right here.
That's it. That's really it. All right. Let's see.
This smells horrible.
Retrovirus has matured nicely. Density gradient is high. Recombinant counter-intron sequences look stable. Transcriptive exon strands have formed.
So it's good.
There's only one way to find out. All right. Here we go. And now, we wait.
That's it?
What? Did you expect me to transform right before your eyes? This is science, not a two-cap magic show. I'm going to rest for a while. I'm back in a few days, maybe a week, and... well, I guess we'll see. In any event, you kept your end of our bargain. Thank you.
I'm ready to move in, sir.
You must be the courser I'm supposed to meet.
Yes, sir. Designation X688. I've already neutralized the perimeter guard. Just give the word, and we can start the assault on the main flotilla.
All right, let's go.
Right behind you, sir. Hold up a moment, sir. There's something important I need to tell you.
I'm listening.
I'm going to give you B592's reset code. If he hears the code phrase, it'll reset his cognitive processes and make him docile. You'll need to say B592 initialize factory reset, followed by the authorization code Gamma 71 Epsilon. Once he's shut down, I can transport him safely back to the Institute. Still
what do
with
you
me?
mean by reset his cognitive processes?
Put more simply, the recall code will render him unconscious even while he's still standing. That's all, sir. Ready when you are.
Well done. You're here. I'm gonna guess you're an agent just like me. So, made it to the top. Is the Institute so desperate for resources that it's stealing plunder from honest, hard-working Commonwealth gangs?
B592, initialize factory reset, authorization Gamma 71 Epsilon.
So I'm by myself out in the open. Way too much risk.
Nice work, sir. I'll take this.
This is just a fancy way of saying you're looting everything you get your hands on.
I'm glad to see you return safely. I know the task was difficult, but I needed you to see firsthand how dangerous a rogue synth can be.
Gabriel and his gang were sick bastards, hanging their victims up like trophies. I'm just glad it's over.
While we can do nothing for Gabriel's victims, we can at least take comfort in the knowledge that the threat has been removed. But enough about that. The task is done, and you've returned our synth safely to us. I couldn't have hoped for a better outcome. Well done. While you were away, I had quarters prepared for you. You'll find all the basic necessities. as well as a generous stock of arms and equipment. Go and have a look. I think you'll be quite pleased.
Your quarters are just inside, sir.
Hey,
Your new quarters are here, sir.
Right away, sir.
If you see anything even remotely suspicious, report it immediately. This
When you're finished
absolutely
here,
cannot
sir,
happen again.
Father wants to see you.
Yes, sir. Understood. Hello, Father. Tell me, what would you do when someone has stolen from you?
after everything I've been through to find you, I think you already know.
I'm sorry, Father. Of course. You're right. The group that calls themselves the Railroad have acquired several synths from the Institute. Synths that had gone missing in recent months. And they no doubt mean to free these synths, in their delusion that synths are somehow sentient beings. You've been in contact with the Railroad, so you're aware of their misguided beliefs.
What happened? What have they done?
They are in possession of technology that does not belong to them. Usually they are a minor nuisance, but lately they have become more emboldened. I'm afraid we've reached the point where a response is necessary. We have learned the current location of these synths, and need to reacquire them before the Railroad can hide them.
Where are the synths located?
A small settlement at the old Bunker Hill Monument. But it's important that we act on this soon, before the Railroad has any indication we've tracked them. We also don't want the Brotherhood of Steel getting wind of the presence of the synths. That would only complicate matters.
Is it just me, or will I have backup?
Of course, sir. We'll be waiting for you outside Bunker Hill. You'll have support should you need it. But we want to keep this small.
All right, Synth.
Please!
C-322, initiate reset. Authorization code, Gamma 49 Typhoon. I've been looking for you.
No, I've got money. It's yours if you let me go.
F-633, initiate reset. Authorization code Delta 62 Arcus. No sudden moves.
Please, no!
Y-915, initiate reset. Authorization code Beta 77 Tempest. You there, Synth.
Come on, please. Just don't.
B-257, initiate reset. Authorization code Theta 93 Stratus. X4.
We must proceed with the mission. That's all of them. Objective complete. Return to the town. Make sure all hostiles have been eliminated. I will relay the synths back to the Institute. Report to Father upon your return, and good work.
You know, in all my years, I've never set foot outside the Institute. Not once. Since the day they brought me here. I've never had a reason. But now, this just confirms the truth I've always known. The Commonwealth is dead. There's no future here. The only hope for humanity lies below.
It wasn't always like this. It used to be different.
I can only imagine. Standing here, I'm reminded of how fortunate I am that I was spared a life in this wasteland. I know that to you, I was kidnapped from that vault. In truth, the Institute rescued me. Both of us, really.
They kept me alive, too.
They did, indeed. I was the perfect candidate. An infant with uncorrupted DNA. But if something were to go wrong, if I died, well, the Institute realized a contingency plan was prudent. Another source of pre-war DNA. preferably related to their primary subject. It only made sense that my parents should fill that role. So you were kept alive and safe within the vault. I'll admit, when I had you released from Vault 111, I had no expectations that you'd survive out here in all this. To not only do so, but manage to find me. To infiltrate the Institute itself. Extraordinary.
So it was you. You let me out.
Yes. It was my decision.
Why let me out now? After all this time.
Certainly it was no longer necessary to keep you suspended. Well, I suppose I wanted to see what would happen. An experiment of sorts. I had no idea what kind of man you were, you see. Would the Commonwealth corrupt you? As it has everything else? Would you even survive? Perhaps most curious to me, would you, after all this time, attempt to find me? And now I know the answer.
Of course, I still love you, Sean. I always will.
Well, here I am. Was it worth it?
I believe so. There are greater things to come after your success at Bunker Hill. The synths have been safely returned and will be repurposed. Thank you for your work. I hope you weren't at too much risk.
What do you mean, the synths will be repurposed?
Modifications will be made to correct the defects in their programming, and they'll be assigned to new duties within the Institute. Not the first or last time it will happen. The Railroad remains an annoyance, of course, but they'll be dealt with as necessary. And you, well, you've passed the test, as they say. You have done well. Please, take this as a token of my appreciation. Our appreciation, really. It's time for you to become more involved in the future of the Institute. I'd like you to join me inside. The Directorate is meeting, and you should be there. I'll be waiting. I've seen enough. It's time to go back in.
Hey,
Lead on. Say what's on your mind.
your thoughts?
You guys pay for things with bottle caps? What happened to dollars and cents?
I just wanted to check in, make sure things were all right between us.
You have great lips. You know that?
I was wondering where you and I stand.
You have great lips. You know that?
That was all I had.
Okay.
I apologize for any disruptions
Son,
that my work
Let's
might
get this
cause.
Directorate meeting over with before we speak further. It's important.
Don't make excuses. You're clearly defective, and I intend to report this.
Hey,
Perhaps after you've been dismissed,
go check that out.
Of course.
make something
Did you
that's
need
actually
anything?
useful.
Good, we're all here. I think it's time we begin.
Sir, excuse me, but what exactly is he doing here?
I will address that issue. But there are other subjects that require our attention first. The level of unrest in the Commonwealth continues to rise, as we're all aware. Your report.
All Institute facilities remain completely secure with the exception of one notable breach. Otherwise, internally, things are as tight as they've ever been. Dr. Ao has been keeping an eye on things topside.
Yes, Watchers show no additional threats beyond those previously identified. Boston International Airport remains occupied, with Brotherhood presence noted at several other points throughout the Commonwealth. Intelligence suggests that this railroad continues to operate and is becoming more ambitious. SRB agents are monitoring all known situations, sir.
Very good, thank you. It's clear that our safety needs to be the primary concern going forward. To that end, where are we on Phase 3?
Sir, are you sure this is the time to be discussing it? Given, well, considering all parties present?
Ah, yes, that's true. Have you heard anything about Phase 3?
I don't think so.
It's all right. I wouldn't expect you to have. The project has been classified from the beginning. Power is, as I'm sure you've seen above ground, a very valuable commodity. I'm not talking about some abstract concept of control. I mean real, tangible power. The kind that keeps the lights on. With every advance the Institute makes, our need for raw power increases. Many compromises and sacrifices have been made over the years to allow progress to continue.
What kind of compromises?
We have at times had to rely on drawing power from above-ground installations. It risks personnel and equipment, but no longer. Phase 3 is simply the activation of a nuclear reactor that can provide enough power to the Institute now and forever. It will ensure not just our survival, but our prosperity.
Can you tell me more about this reactor?
Certainly. It was originally built for the Commonwealth Institute of Technology before the war, but was only for testing. Over the years, we've advanced the technology, made a great many improvements, and are finally nearly ready to activate it. The reactor is close to ready, but recent tests have determined we have a few tasks ahead of us. Thus, we come to Phase 3, and to how you will help.
Sir.
Yes, Dr. Ayo. Previously, we would rely on Kellogg for above-ground operations, yes? Well, he is gone. While I'm not overly fond of putting my own father in harm's way, he has proven more than capable of handling himself.
Yes, but...
This is not a matter for debate. Now, there is one more subject that requires discussion.
I don't know that this is the time.
Dr. Holdren, it is time. Please, as I'm sure several of you are already aware, I have been under Dr. Volkert's care for some time. I'm sorry this is difficult for me. Our best efforts have failed. Every experimental treatment we could devise has been unsuccessful. I'm sorry to say I am dying.
What? Can't
Please,
be serious.
everyone, please. I am sorry. This is not how I wanted to tell you, but we're running out of time.
You're dying?
I'm afraid so. A very aggressive form of cancer. Believe me when I say we've done everything we can. We can talk more later. Right now, the future of the Institute is at stake. The Institute cannot survive without leadership. The Directorate must continue to govern with the best interest of all in mind. To that end, I am naming my father as my successor.
Oh, boy. You can't be serious!
Really?
Seems a poor choice.
How can you possibly justify this? He isn't one of us. He isn't even a scientist.
Ignoring your borderline, insubordinate tone, I will simply say this. The Institute has enough scientists. What it needs is a leader. I believe my father has already proven himself more than capable in that regard. This will conclude this meeting. Thank you.
Dr. Carlin's doing some amazing things with our genetically engineered crops.
Our technology must seem pretty advanced by your standards.
I had no idea.
I know this is... well, it's a lot to take in at once. I'm sorry, Father. I hope it wasn't too presumptuous of me to put you in charge without even asking first.
What would it mean to be in charge?
Most divisions of the Institute are fairly autonomous, perfectly capable of functioning without intervention. Where those divisions interact, however, problems can arise. You'd lead the Directorate in setting policy, resolving disputes, and the like. But I'll admit, I'm sorry, Mother. I understand. You've been through quite a lot. I know this is a lot to take in. I know this isn't what you wanted. But it's the only truth I can offer you. However, Mother, Father, this will all be yours. The Institute is now your home.
Sean. This can't be happening. I only just found you. I'm so sorry.
I know. I know. Don't worry. I don't hold it against you. There's no question that some of the Directorate and the Institute at large will need reassurances about your appointment. That's why I'd like you to take charge of this latest operation. Dr. Fillmore can fill you in on the details. There are hard decisions ahead for all of us, but for you especially. I know that you'll do the right thing.
Heads up.
Yes? This is all... It's too much. I just don't know anymore.
I wish there was some other way.
Sean is dying. He mentioned you. To take over the Institute.
I can't do this alone. It's just too much. I just don't know anymore.
And you're never going to have to. The Institute wants the same things you do. We can find a way to work together. It's up to you. Hey, hun, don't worry. I'm here for you. We've survived this far. We'll make it to the end.
Allie.
Busy day for you, isn't it? Well, it's about to get busier. You're going to lead this operation, I'm told.
Absolutely.
All right, let's go over the details. Recent events have upset our timetable. Getting the reactor online has become our #1 priority. It needs to be running, well, yesterday. We're going to have to cut some corners. I'm not thrilled, but it means we'll need to rely on some pre-war tech. You're going to the mass fusion building to acquire a beryllium agitator for us.
What's a beryllium agitator?
The details would be lost on you, no offense. The point is, it'll allow us to boost the reactor's power and get it running sooner than planned. You just keep me safe. I'll worry about the agitator.
Is that really necessary? I'm sure I can handle this by myself.
Yes, it really is. Not only is this tech sensitive, it's old. Look, I'll take care of it. You just make sure I come back in one piece.
Sounds good. I'd appreciate the company.
Not as much as I'd appreciate coming back in one piece. I don't like going above ground unless there's no other option. But here we are, with our options dwindling quickly. Not to put more pressure on you, but we have to move quickly on this. Word is that the Brotherhood is nosing around the area. We don't want them getting the agitator before we do. Head on up to the relay, and I'll meet you there.
Dr. Fillmore.
If I was a pre-war tech conglomerate, where would I keep all my best toys?
Right here!
fine piece of work for its time.
Sure. What could
Allie.
possibly go
Looks
wrong?
pretty dangerous in there. You have any sort of radiation protection on you?
Don't worry about me. I'm all set.
Okay, good. See? This is why I wore the suit. Look, they worked on the reactor here. They must have had some kind of protection. Poke around and I'm sure you'll find something.
Dr. Fillmore.
Looks pretty dangerous in there. You have any sort of radiation protection on you?
Now cycling airlock. Please wait. Initiating decontamination sequence. Decontamination complete. You may proceed. Security alert in the reactor chamber. Emergency lockdown initiated. Please wait. Decontamination complete.
My arm.
Smell trouble?
Hostile target.
Scanners detecting sentient life. Level elevated.
Allie.
This wasn't really what I planned on doing today.
Allie.
Well, all we need to do now is get out in one piece. Well, all we need to do now is get out in one piece.
What's the story with this place?
Look alive.
Just tell me what you need.
Your thoughts?
Every waking moment is an adventure out there.
Is everything okay between us?
Don't worry. I haven't lost faith in you.
That was all I had.
Sure.
If you require maintenance, please
Dr.
file a
Fillmore.
report with
I think
the
that was
facility
enough
division.
excitement for, well, ever. Thank you, really. Couldn't have managed it without you. I'll make sure the agitator gets where it needs to go. I understand Father is anxious to get you involved in something else. You'd better not keep him waiting.
I wish I had more time to spend with
Come on, Fed, treat for treat, bench, no, Fed.
Where we're going, we don't need problems.
Boom. Butterfly. Excuse me? Did you say something? Oh, did you not hear me?